So talk to me about the story then. Where did the idea come from?
The idea of that was my brother Craig and myself and the company wanted to give something back to Leeds and do something charitable for once. So I had to think about what I could do, and the best thing for me was something that helped me with my mental health issues to do with the bombing that I was involved in, the Bali bombing. So I was in the bar where the suicide bomber was that detonated the vest, and outside was a ton of explosive, a car bomb, and of it. I just suffer with a bit of trauma every now and again, and mental, just like flashbacks and things. And me just getting involved in that gave me something back. It gave me something. It's exciting to create your idols or people that you admire in life, and just go create them. I love it. If that makes sense.
You find it also really helps. Also really helps with the mental health side of things as well.
Yeah,
just taking yourself away and creating a masterpiece like you have done.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You just go different places. It just takes you. It takes you away from, the day-to-day things that you get involved with, and when you get people patting you on the back and giving you all the good comments, that just helps you even more. It's just like an adrenaline feeling. It's really exciting.
How long does it take to create the statue, and what's the process? Could you talk me through how it all happens?
So we started the discussions about Tom in April, when I think Captain Tom was on around 2.5 million on his fundraising. I donated myself. I even left a comment saying that he deserves a knighthood at the end of it, because what he's doing is quite admirable, giving a lot of people a lot of hope as well. And when we started with that, it roughly took around 2 months to get the clay products right. So what we first start with is they have to mold the statue that we want out of clay, because you can keep tweaking it. You can keep applying the clay, applying the water so it doesn't crack. And when you're happy with it, then after the 2 months it roughly took before I was happy with it, they then make a resin version of it so it can stay, and you've got your mold then, sort of thing. So the replicating resin, the like put like fiberglass on him and then create the resin on top of the clay, then they break the resin off into parts, and then they make a mold from the part that they've got. So you end up with loads of little parts, like the front head, the back head, the legs, the body, the arms, everything. It's all part form, and they number it all up, and then they'll basically then use that mold to then cast the bronze or the metal that whatever you work with. It might be copper, tin, aluminium, whatever it is, and then they'll put that into the mold. After so long, they open the mold to take it out. Then there's a lot of polishing to do, a lot of sanding, grinding, and then they'll build it together. They'll weld it all up, and then you're left with a statue where they'll apply a finish at the end of it.
What was the most challenging part?
It's when you're looking at it so much, you're overlooking at something, and you're just not sure if it looks how you want it to look, or if I guess also getting the public's opinion of it, because in an artist's eye, I'm not an artist, I'm more of an artistic creator, but in an artist's eye, that when they create something, for example, the Ronaldo statue, what they see in the art form is how they feel it should be, and whether it's an exact replica or it's something in that person that they feel they need to portray in that piece of art. They often don't look the same, and that is the most, the thing that you're anxious over really is what people are going to say about it and how they're going to accept it or not. And ultimately, when you're staring at something so long and you're changing it, you can sometimes overdo it and you can end up spoiling it.
So which pictures did you use of Captain Sir Tom Moore to help with the piecing together of the sculpture?
Yeah, we just picked a moment in the walk of what we thought we wanted to create in the statue and took the screenshots from that, and then sent them. And we looked at Wikipedia and places like that for his height.
So now that the statue's finished, what do you hope will be the outcome? And is it just the case that it needs a home?
It definitely needs a home. I don't want to sell it to a private buyer and put it in a house or a collection. I want it to be on display somewhere. Whether it ends up being in a prominent position that most people are saying it deserves, I don't think it will. It'd be lovely to do that. I think it's more, you know, if you're looking at these areas where people are often saying in London and things, it's probably going to be a sculptor in the UK that's going to specifically make something, working with the family and the government, which I respect. I wouldn't expect that for this, but there's so many places in the UK. Why do you just have to have one monument for that one person? You know, why do you have to go all the way to London to see a Churchill when there's many more different poses he'll have done throughout his wartime career that you can depict and put other statues elsewhere?
So if this, obviously there's been reaction to it today, but if the family pick up on it tomorrow and maybe get in contact, that would thrill you, wouldn't it?
Actually, it's funny you should say that, because in April I did get a call off his daughter Hannah. So she called me and she was just so taken back by what we were doing and what we were creating. So they are aware of it. And at the time, she was always asking me what it is that I wanted to do with it and where I wanted it to go. And to be honest, I wasn't so sure. And I know they wanted it to go to the memorial in Bedford, but because of my work that I was doing at the time with the charity of Mind Mental Health, where I raised 9,700, I wasn't so sure what I actually wanted to do with it. And I think I did an interview with Look North where I actually said the same thing. And until recently, I've still not been sure on what I wanted to do with it. I just wanted to do something good with it, raise some funds. But at the same time, I couldn't do what I did with the Bielsa project and give it away for free, because this one cost a lot of money to create. Not just that, it was also the import costs were 7 times what I paid before pre-COVID. So everything's just shot up. And also, I probably won't have a house eventually because I keep doing it. So I needed to get some money back in order to recreate other things and other projects to hopefully raise more charity as well.
So if this statue continues to snowball and it continues to be recognised, then your statue could be the one that they choose.
My main aim out of this is for people to see it and to admire it as for what it is we've created.
Very humble answer, but I'm going to have to test you here. If you could have a dream location for it, where would it be?
I can't really say, can I? Because if I say, then I guess it changes the way it might work out. But I've said on the group and the page that I created to GoFundMe, I'm happy for the family to decide. And if that's the decision they take and it ends up in Bedford, then so be it. But for me, it's to keep him in Yorkshire, because I'm from Yorkshire. He was from Yorkshire. And even Keighley, why not? You know, let him get more tourism. Or more people visiting and seeing the statue. And it's also just around 40 minutes from me, so it's not too far.
Finally, how will you remember Captain Sir Tom Moore?
He's a hero, he's a legend, he's a guy that will sort of like put, not a spin, but he'll put a smile on people's faces throughout something that was so horrific and something that no one ever probably imagined would happen in this world, that would be shut down by a virus. I mean, you watch the movies, but you don't actually imagine it happening. And obviously it did. And somebody that age with that history was able to do something so huge, and you know, and through such a bad time, everybody admires him, respects him, and it's all for the good reasons. It's a good thing for once rather than a negative, I guess. So I'll always remember him as a hero, as a guy that helped me even when I was struggling, because I was having certain bad episodes around that time, because I was told that you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that, which obviously everyone was. It just helped me in a huge way as well.